Team Hyderabad have gone through not just playing changes, but also a lot of coaching and management changes. Let's talk all about their strategy for the upcoming auction here at Timeout with SportsAdda. Arun, more changes at Hyderabad in terms of management also more than players. Your favorite player has been retained there. Obviously, he's going to be captain of the team. We are all happy that Kane Williamson is going to be back in the T20 league. But any thoughts about the changes there? VVS Lakshman has moved out. He's taken a role with the NCA now. So different set of people have come in. Brian Lara has come in. Dale Steyn's come in. Some really big names.
Uh, Big names don't necessarily transform, promise you, guarantee you performance and success, Akhil. But Tom Moody's back, isn't he? Tom
Yes.
Moody's involved with Sunrisers Hyderabad, and he's one of the shrewdest cricket brains I've seen, Akhil. Well, I've interacted with him a few times, and you just know this man knows his cricket.
Tom Moody was there even last season when they managed to make all those changes, the big change with the captaincy and the fallout with David Warner or fallout or whatever relationship breaker it was with David Warner. So Moody was there last year. Uh, I think Muralitharan is continuing there as a coach, but getting Brian Lara is a big one. Whatever I've seen for Brian Lara Arun on television, he sits in this show called as Dugout and makes predictions. So he's actually reading the game much better than anyone else that I've ever seen on commentary. Maybe a Ricky Ponting comes close to him, but Brian Lara reads the game so beautifully. His predictions are almost say it's 80 to 90% accurate. He calls on for a bowler change, batting like somebody to take on an onus, and that is exactly what happened. So I'm excited to see Brian Lara in this role for the first time.
It's going to be exciting, but I don't know how much Brian Lara will have an influence over what happens. Okay? Now, I'm always skeptical about what coaches, mentors, consultants can bring to the table. I mean, look, this is not like a Ranji Trophy where you work with a particular team over a span of 6 months or 9 months. You know, this is like a 2 month, 2.5 month,
Yeah.
3 months max, where these professionals come to work with the players, and you're traveling, you're playing matches every second day, third day. Uh, it's grueling. So I don't know how much influence they'll have, but tactically is where you want these players,
Correct.
these professionals to contribute.
Correct. Absolutely. So, just wanted to go and have a look at the kind of retentions that Hyderabad have made. They are the ones, Arun. These are the retentions. So, obviously, Kane Williamson, their huge favorite on this show. We love having and talking about him. So, he's being retained at 14 crores. But the two other retentions are very interesting, and I like this kind of an approach by a team. Abdul Samad, extremely exciting player. We've seen that he's not got too many chances to show his talent, batted too low down the order for anybody's liking. And Umran Malik, who impressed everyone with the pace and pace that he showed last season. So interesting picks these, but Hyderabad have so much work to do now. I think the kind of purse that is available to them now, it's one of the. I think this will be the heaviest purse available for any team in the auction, and they'll have to do a lot of buying. Like they need openers, they need a they need a big Indian fast bowler or an overseas fast bowler. They've been so reliant on Rashid Khan Arun for the last say 5, 6 years. He's taken care of their bowling attack for such a long time, so they definitely need a strong bowler like that. Any thoughts, any picks that you have in mind for them?
Firstly, Akhil, I think you called it right. Except for Punjab, who've retained only two players, I think Hyderabad have the biggest purse among all the other teams. They've got, I think, 68 crores left in their kitty as they enter the auction. So Punjab have only retained two players, so that's why Punjab have a slightly bigger purse. But you hit the nail on the head. Last 5-6 years, Hyderabad only had to worry about 16 overs when they were bowling. 4 overs was a given. Now they've got the plan for 20 overs, Akhil. Another interesting observation I want to make: the three players that they've retained, which is Kane Williamson, Abdul Samad, and Umran Malik. Now, we are assuming Kane Williamson will be captain, and I
Yeah.
think that's the way they'll go about it. But are the other two players, while I'm happy for them, are the other two players a given in their 11? Are they sure shot starters? I don't think so.
Hmm. Good pick there. I don't know if Abdul Samad made all the matches last season also while he was there in the squad. I remember him coming in lower down the order, but I don't think he got chances in all the matches. So
Hmm.
if they've spent 8 crores of their money to keep these two youngsters in the team, then I'm sure they'll have to start. There's no point in having like retaining some players and then keeping them on the bench. So I'm sure they'll have to start. But even with Williamson, I don't know how many matches he might miss because of national duty. He's had this elbow issue, if you remember, for the last couple of
Hmm.
seasons now. So he's not
Hmm.
played cricket with the same consistency that he played in his younger days, obviously. He's been missing
Hmm.
games for New Zealand also, which is extremely rare. Uh, so hoping that he is injury free and can manage to play all the games and not have to go for New Zealand duties. But if not, then they'll have to look for. They definitely have to look as a consider. They have to consider somebody as a backup captain.
Correct.
Ideal in Indian name who can figure in all the 14 or 18 games that they play. So that is going to be a big one. So again, somebody a Shreyas Iyer kind of a candidate for them.
I don't know if they'll have the purse to spend on a Shreyas Iyer. Okay, like I don't know if they'll do that. But I'm going back to the player who captained them last year. I think Manish Pandey is a good fit there. Manish Pandey, we often criticize that he's not taken his opportunity, he's not capitalized on his chances, but he's still
Hmm.
talented. Okay, he's immensely talented. He's a good captain. Uh, he doesn't have too many fitness issues. He's somebody who can bank on to play all 14 matches. So if at all I'm seated in that table, Hyderabad table, I'm looking at Manish Pandey as one of my first picks.
Manish Pandey, the thing when I look at IPL captaincy, Arun, from the outside and having seen work with some of the teams in other leagues, what I see is captaincy in this league is more outside the field also. While Manish
Hmm.
Pandey looks like a candidate who can control what happens on the field, make some nice changes. He bats so beautifully also whenever he's in form. And we've criticized him for strike rates last year, but whenever he wants to, he can up the ante. But I don't know if he's capable of handling the owners and having that extra responsibility of doing meetings with the mentors and the coaches, spending time to get other players to improve their game. That is something he's had his chances there at Hyderabad, and they've not given him the captaincy over the last couple of years. So I'm not sure if that aspect is something that can be handled at this stage of his career. If it would have come, the leadership is shown at a much younger age. So probably that's my
I,
reading. Uh,
I'll just counter your argument, Akhil, and I'll throw you some numbers. 35 T20 matches, he's won 28 or 29 of them with Karnataka and with Sunrisers Hyderabad. So, I mean, he obviously different kind of setup. I admit and I'll give you that benefit. But look, a captain, like you said, there are on-field things, there are off-field things. We don't know what happened off the field in the context of the Indian T20 league. But I think if given an opportunity and if given the surety that look, you are one of our key players, co-players, I think Manish Pandey will work wonders.
I just have a feeling even somebody like an Ajinkya Rahane might fit beautifully at this Hyderabad setup.
Hmm.
Looks like they've always invested in players over the long term, and with a astute brain like Brian Lara there, Muralitharan there, I think they will do well with somebody like an Ajinkya who's a calming influence, can give you
Hmm.
that option of being a leader, even though you might not making captain, but he's still a leader. He's a proven leader, so there's no question of people not respecting him on the field. And they need an Indian opener who can give you runs. So he might not give you the strike rate that David Warner used to, but he'll still give you those 400, 450, 500 runs in a season if he plays all
Like
those all
as
those
I'd like to
matches.
call it.
You call him the banker. So I think that's a tremendous option there. Or even somebody like a Ravichandran Ashwin, who's not yet played for Hyderabad, but he offers them that special cutting edge spinner that Rashid Khan could have given them. So I think between these two
Spinner,
players might be.
spinner. I've made a short list, Akhil. I've made a short list of four spinners. I think
Nice.
they might go aggressively and get at least one of them. I've got Tabriz Shamsi in my short list. I've got Noor Ahmed, Kais Ahmed of Afghanistan, and Mahesh Tikshana. I've got these four spinners shortlisted for Hyderabad, and obviously auction dynamics will play a role. But if they have an opportunity, they will like to land on one of these four.
Interesting names there, and I'm just going to go before we wrap. Arun, I'm going to ask you for three names. Again, overall three names that you think and we think should be picked by Hyderabad. But before we do that, I just wanted to announce our regular contest that we've been running here at Timeout with SportsAdda. We've been asking people who listen in to us, Arun, to firstly tell us who are the players that they would want to be playing for Hyderabad. Give us your opinions, give us your thoughts about which are the players that you would want to see in the Hyderabad lineup. And if your suggestions are right and Hyderabad actually implement them, then you stand a chance to win Time Out with SportsAdda merchandise, directly signed merchandise, which a lot of our listeners have been getting in. So all viewers who listen in, please go onto our YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel firstly, go like this video, and in the comment section put in your answers. Tell us your suggestions. Arun has given a lot of names there. We've discussed a couple of names like Ajinkya Rahane, Ravichandran Ashwin. So send in your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. Arun, before we wrap, I'm going to put you on the spotlight. Three players. You've given names of four spinners, but three players, maybe two Indians and one foreigner. Who could be the core?
One between Deepak Chahar and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Jason Roy.
Bhuvaneshwar, they can go back, right? They can go back for Bhuvaneshwar. He's done well for them.
Yeah. So one between Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Deepak Chahar. Jason Roy will be my overseas batsman opener, and Shrikar Bharat, who impressed with Bangalore last year. I think he's a local lad. They don't have a wicket keeper at this moment, so I think Shrikar Bharat might be one of these.
Good picks there. Good picks. Hyderabad really need like a complete restructure of their entire setup. So we're going to be exciting to see how they go, and exciting to see Kane Williamson getting to bat the entire season, not sitting out. It was extremely disappointing to see him sitting out because there were only four overseas players that they could play. So looking forward to seeing him play. All right, that's Hyderabad. We'll be back here talking about the other teams. Really excited now, Arun, for the auction coming up. There's so much. This entire squads are going to be made for the next few years. So looking forward to that. We'll be back again at Time Out with SportsAdda.